MrYorkieLoverFitness.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the first man to build 21-inch biceps, drug-free.
Go.
Well, you know, people ask me a lot of times, how well do I know Arnold, and where did I meet him, and what kind of guy he is, and I said to myself, I said, gee whiz, you know, I go back and I remember so plainly how I first met him. At that time, I was the first guy to develop a 21-inch arms drug-free, and you know, and now we have like a fraternity, us bodybuilders. We all know each other and want to know what's happening with this guy, what's happening with that guy. And not knowing at the time the type of guy Arnold was, I got a call from Joe Weider, and Joe said Arnold wanted to come meet you. He wanted to come on a certain, I forgot the day he mentioned. I said, I can't do it, Joe. I got things to do. He said, yeah, but I said, Joe, I can't do it, you know. He said, but Arnold, he's got to, I said, who's this Arnold? He was nobody then, hadn't done anything, but he was up and coming. And I was a little annoyed. I heard of his name, and I heard he was from Austria, and he just got here, and I was a little, I said, what is this Arnold business? I said, okay. So I said, we'll come up to the house. So he says, well, we have, you know, Arnie Zeller was premier body photographer at the time, and he was hanging out with Arnold, chaperoning Arnold around the country. So he says, I'll bring Arnold up to your house. I said, well, bring him up and we'll have dinner at the house there. So Arnold comes, and I'm like looking at him in surprise because I expected him to be funny, a little humble. He came in like he had just won the world's champion Olympia. How are you, with that accent of his? And right away I got amused and annoyed at the same time. It's funny. I told this guy, what the hell do you think he is? So then I'll never forget the time when he got in, and all the guys got was Franco Colombo, Artie Zeller, some guy from England, I don't know, and Arnold. And Arnold flopped down in a chair and broke the base of the chair. I said, what's the matter with you? You know, showing no restraint, which fascinated me. So I said, this guy and me, type of guy, and right away I said, oh, we're gonna have a problem. Not in a hostile sense, but in a, you know, funny sense. And so we started talking about bodybuilding, and Arnold said that he was gonna be the greatest bodybuilder of all times. And I was looking at him in total astonishment. I said, this guy, he's got to be a nut. You know, I said, first of all, he had this name that was very odd. People felt odd pronouncing it. Schwarzenegger. I said, well, you're going to have to get rid of that name. No, I'm not getting rid of the name. I said, you ain't going to get rid of nothing. I said, first of all, you're too big, because at that time, bodybuilding was frowned upon. And Arnold acted like it was the latest thing. And I'm looking at him, and he says, I'm going to be a star. He never mentioned that he was going to be in the politics, but he said he was going to be a movie star, and it astounded me, because at that time, another bodybuilder that I knew well, Dave Draper, was coming along, and Dave Draper was like the American dream at the time, because he was blonde-haired, blue eyes, and reserved, and not brash, and Arnold was big and brash and loud, and I said, come on, stop playing around. So we started getting into the conversation about bodybuilding and so forth, and I began to look at him in a different way. I said, this guy's unusual. He's not the least bit intimidated, or he's going to take charge wherever he is, which sort of surprised me and made me look at him more. And then he says, I'm going to play the movies. I said, Arnold, what part are you going to play? I said, they don't have any more parts for U-boat captains. Now, in the Second World War, the German submarine commandants were called, the submarines were called U-boats. And being Arnold was, you know, of German descent, I said, the only part you can play is a U-boat captain. And I watched him, and he didn't seem put down by it. He laughed, and I said, right then I got impressed with him. I said, he's unusual. He don't give a shit what you say. You know, he's the man. Okay, got it. Got it. I quit this bitch.
Wait a minute. Before you click away, I want you to subscribe, like, comment, hell, even dislike if you want to. At least do something before you get out of here.